Jamal's no longer going to be with us.
It's like losing a teammate.
Here is the statement from Jamal. On advice from his family and representatives, Jamal has decided to no longer do his weekly radio spot. Bart, I'd be lying if I say I wasn't extremely disappointed here.
I'm disappointed, too, because I look at Jamal as like a little brother, and this is bad advice. I mean, it's one thing to maybe not do it after the season, but you always start what you finish. And listen, it is not easy. It is not easy at all to come on a radio show and your team has never been successful. Now, when your team's been successful and maybe it's a down year, it's good. But all he knows is L's,
right?
Defeats. But that's why people look to you, because they know that they wouldn't want to do it. So this is your opportunity to separate yourself from the normal athletes and from the leaders in that locker room to say, listen, I'm going to speak for us.
Right.
I'm going to step up and do what's tough, because every athlete's got here because we didn't do what was easy. We did what was right.
Right.
And it was right for Jamal to finish what he started.
Yeah. This is the one thing I thought that Jamal understood this, but now maybe he doesn't, or maybe he didn't, or maybe he doesn't care. But it's really not about Bart and I when we do this interview. Maybe that's not true. It is about Bart, because you guys can talk to each other on a level that I can't get to. I'll speak for myself. It's not about me, and it's not about the questions that I ask. This is about his opportunity to talk directly to the fan base, and for him, and for them, rather, to hear his tone of voice. And this is no disrespect to the beat writers and to the newspaper people and people who are writing articles. But all of those, his quotes are being put into context when it's a written word. This was the opportunity for Jamal and for fans to hear him. Last week when he came on the show and I had to ask him questions about him removing the Jets from the social media, he was not happy about those questions. He was not happy that I asked the question more than once. But that interview was not even about his answers, because if you go back, his answers were totally fine. He handled himself great. It's about the tone in which he was saying those answers. That's why this radio spot was important, I think, for him and for the fans to be able to hear him. Now, the other thing, just really quickly about the social media questions that I was asking him removing the Jets from social media. He did that. I didn't do it. He made the decision to do that. In the year 2019, we can read into that a lot of things. Now, I was mad at myself, Bart, because I thought I missed a follow-up question when I asked, why did you do it? And he said, I'm trying to block out the outside noise. And I was going to come back and say, well, couldn't this be considered noise? You know, you doing this, and I didn't. And I felt bad that I missed the follow-up question there. I'm sorry if he thought that was out of line, but he did it. He's 24 years older. He's going to be 24 in October. And I think that he has to understand that if you have an action, you do something like that, there's going to be questions about it. And that's simply all I was trying to do, was get to the bottom of what he meant by removing the Jets from social media.
And at the time you were asking it, you know, we have monitors in our studio. They were literally discussing Jamal and his Twitter and what he did.
Yes, it became national news. And
right.
We never asked him if he wanted to trade. We never asked him if he wanted out. I mean, it was
something. But what we were trying to do is provide him opportunity, not to the national media, but to the local fans that support him. Because our show, what makes our show so unique is that it is a local product that's consumed nationally.
Right.
But it's basically a national. It's like that local restaurant that you have.
Right.
That all the people that you see and that support you listen to and see and hear.
Right.
And that we were trying to provide him a platform and an opportunity to clear the air to his real fans.
Right.
Because Jet haters are going to be Jet haters regardless, no matter what he says. But this was, I feel like, a missed opportunity. And listen, I've been a part of this, right? So I had, plenty of radio shows and radio spots. And I remember one year in Baltimore when I came off and we won the first 4 games, all sunshine and roses. Mm-hmm. Then we lost the next 9 games.
Yikes.
Now, people have become accustomed to like losing here.
Right.
That don't really fly in Baltimore.
Right.
Because, the organization has won a lot of games in a short period of time, 2 Super Bowls only being in existence, 20 years.
Right.
And so it was difficult. But I think that made me greater. The fan base appreciated me more because when things were tough, I was able to step up and still do what was right.
We talk about accountability.
Yeah.
And here's the thing about Jamal. He has a big fan base for a few reasons. Number one, he's a great player. Number two, he is very good to the fans. And we see him out in training camp and he signs every autograph and he, shakes every little kid's hand and takes every selfie and all of that stuff. And it's great. This is your weekly opportunity to talk to every fan you have and to reassure them that you are still bought in and to reassure them that you still want to be a leader on this team. That's the opportunity. It doesn't matter the questions I ask. It's all about your answers, how you answer it and what you say. And so, I am disappointed and, we'll see, if he changes his mind, we'd love to have him back. If not, we totally understand that he doesn't want to do it anymore. We think it's the wrong move, but listen.
First time in a long time that I got broken up with, but it's okay.
He's an adult and he has to make his own decisions.